Hey guys, so we just launched an image editor. So you don't need to go to some third-party tool, make your edits, save it, import it into Sociamonials. Everything can be done right here from within our tool. So it's going to save you a bunch of time. Take this for example. I just imported this image from our stock photo library. There's like over 2 million available. So I pulled it in. Let's edit it. You'll notice it already has a watermark applied. So let's see how it handles this watermark, because this is kind of tricky. I want to turn this into a square image. I don't really want landscape because I've got all these different social networks included, and I don't think it's going to look great. So I'm going to change this to square. Let's jump in and edit the image. So I'm able to immediately go in and crop this to square. Super easy. You can click and drag where you want the crop to happen. I'm going to put her right in the middle. That's perfect. You can also do things like flip and rotate left. And remember, you can always undo and redo. And over here, this reverts it back to the original. So if you take yourself down a rabbit hole and you've just trashed your image and it looks terrible, go ahead and hit this and it will restart. This cancels. And when you're done, you're going to click the done button. And yes, if you're on our white label plan, this button will be the color of your white label buttons. I'm going to show you some of the other features while we're in here, like filter. You can make it look a little cooler, change the look a little bit. I think Chrome looks cool. And you can fine tune the image, like change the saturation and just give it a different look. Let's make it look a little more vibrant. And there's an annotate and a decorate feature. These are very similar. The difference is annotations are going to stay with the image itself. And if you rotate it and things like that, the annotations are going to rotate with it. It really embeds itself into the image. Decorate is something that hovers over it. At a high level, it's the top layer, because these are image layers that you're creating. And it all gets consolidated when you click done. But until then, you're able to use decorate to kind of have something hover over the top. So I'll give you an example. So I'm going to take text and let's just write. I'm going to select this entire area where I want to write my text. And let's select this and write stay safe. And I'm going to change the font size to, let's call it medium. I'm going to go in the middle here. Perfect. And now let's annotate. And I'm going to say, let's put another text thing here. And say, wear a mask. And let's change this one also to medium. I am not a designer, people, so try not to judge. So I'll say, wear a mask. And then I'm going to put a arrow right here. Okay. So now if I go back to crop and I rotate, notice how the stay safe is staying in the same place, because that's this top layer that kind of just hovers over. So no matter what additional changes I make to the image, it won't apply to that part. So that's the distinction here. I'm going to check out the stickers now. I might add well, that's not as appropriate, but let's just add this thumb. You can make it larger, just drag it. And if you want to change text, you can actually, well, you need to go back to that tool that you had, but you can actually click the text and drag it and make it larger and move it around, because these are free floating edits as their own layer. It's really nice. You can add a quick frame right here. And let's see, you can actually redact things, just kind of drag a box around it if you want to redact certain parts of the image. And finally, you can resize it. So this is really handy if, let's say you have an image where our tool is telling you, hey, Google My Business won't allow an image that large. What you can do is go in here and actually make a change. Just highlight this and you can change it to, let's say 600 and 600 to 600. You can lock the aspect ratio or unlock it. This one doesn't really matter because I already turned it into a square. So 600 by 600. And let's see, I think that's all I want to do. So I'm going to click done now. So what this does is it brings it back into Sociamonials and then it adds the watermark afterwards. And that's very important because you don't want to crop off your watermark. You want it to be in the perfect position after you're all done. This is an ugly picture. I'm so sorry about the editing. Don't pay attention to that. I'm sure you're going to do something beautiful with it, just for demonstration purposes only. And once you're done with this, you would go on, add more images. And what's nice about this is you actually have the editor in your asset library. So if you happen to see an asset in here that you use a lot, you can make your edit right here, and that asset will be available in its edited format in all of your future posts. So that's super helpful. I can't wait to see what you guys do with the image editor. Let me know in the comments of our Facebook group if you have any comments on it or questions or recommendations. And you can always reach out to us down here in chat if you have any questions or have any issues with this. Thanks a lot.